there's one other big story to cover, all right? And this one is in regards to a little journalistic company called Kotaku. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kotaku is a website that covers game news. Or do they? Because they did at one point, and then in the last couple of years, Kotaku has flipped to become an incredibly ridiculous leftist-leaning journalistic site that really politicizes things in gaming and also literally says some of the dumbest takes ever in gaming just for clickbait. Like, they'll have articles that are just so dumb that you're like, this is a joke. This is like The Onion writing this article, right? This is a parody of an article. But then you look, no, it's actually real. It's really on their site. They actually published it as a story, just some of the most ridiculous stuff ever. And a lot of people will say, like, they'll try to make an issue out of something, and then literally everyone else on the planet will read the article and be like, that's not an issue. Why did they even publish this? It's a joke. So what's ended up happening is they went from being kind of a respected journalistic website to, for over the last 2 years or so, just the running joke of the internet. Like, everyone says, oh, Kotaku again, another fucking stupid, overly left-leaning article complaining about something, politicizing something. And you just know when you read their shit, it's exactly what it is. It's like a turd on a web page. Like, there's no reason to ever go there, okay? So what ended up happening is they tanked. This last 2 years, all of their attention has gone away, and everyone's just constantly making fun of them. So all their traffic on their site has tanked. They're not making as much money as they used to on ad revenue and things like that, which they need to survive. So here's what happened, okay? The management, meaning the people who own Kotaku, came down on them this week and said, what you're doing isn't working. Everyone hates you. You've got to now become a gaming website again. So starting this week, you have to pump out 50 game guides. Yes, they actually made an edict. You have to make 50 game guides in 1 week and have those on your site to draw traffic to the site that's related to actual games. Because what you're doing isn't working. It's not gaming related. It's trash. And we need people to actually come to the site now. Immediately, the head editor, what's her name? Kotaku editor-in-chief Jen Glennon resigned immediately, saying, oh, I don't like this management team's new strategy, okay? Now, there's basically two different schools of thought on this. Some people are basically saying that this is awful, and here's why. Here's one take. This is from a Nathan Grayson. He says, Geo Media, that's the name of the company that owns Kotaku, is effectively forcing Kotaku to pivot away from news, lie, they weren't covering news, and demanding that its staff of 7 writers will now churn out an impossible number of guides per week. That's not what writers signed up for, and not why people visit Kotaku in the first place. This is straight up stupid and cruel. Okay? And here's what one of the employees actually said on Twitter. You know what? Fuck it. Here's a small cup of tea. Management here doesn't even care about the quality of the guides we make. They want us to aggregate them from other sites like a literal content mill, and went on to basically said, we're just going to use AI to do it. We're not even going to do it ourselves. We're not going to work. We're going to go to AI and we're going to tell AI, make an aggregate review, and we're just going to put it on the site. So literally, an employee at Kotaku posted on Twitter saying, I'm just going to plagiarize. And they said this publicly. I want you to think about this. This is supposed to be a major journalistic website that people go to for game news and trust them for true game news, outright admitting, I'm just going to plagiarize my work from here on out. They publicly said it. Anyway, I get the feeling this is it. I really believe what's happened is, here's the deal. At one point, Kotaku was a legit website about games. It was. I remember years ago, there were some good articles over there, but every once in a while, you get the oddball article that was definitely weird and political and leftist leaning, and you'd kind of like, all right, it's 1 every 20. So, all right, we'll let it pass or whatever. But then all of a sudden, they changed for the worse and became just a 100% schlock site. And as they became more and more schlocky, people just made them the running joke of games journalism. Oh, well, it's Kotaku's take, here we go again, right? I don't know how they thought they were going to survive doing this. I almost feel like they thought they were like the rebels of gaming journalism, but they never bothered to ask if anyone wanted that content. And the answer is no one does. Like, literally, even leftist-leaning people don't want to read Kotaku articles. You know what I mean? Like, no one's looking for this baity content. That's really what it is. It's always baiting a reaction, baiting some kind of a, you know, a response so that they can get some more attention and hopefully bring some more clicks, some more ad revenue to their site. And I don't know how long they thought they were going to last doing that. And I just find it hilarious that, like, the editor, like, immediately quits when told, you got to do gaming content now. It's like, oh, it's journalistic integrity. No. It's a gaming website. It always was. That's the inception of the site, was that it was going to be a gaming website. So if you took a job at a gaming website and you refused to actually write articles about the games out there, but instead all you did was make political schlock and no one likes it, how did you think this was going to proceed? Like, did you not understand that there's, like, cause and effect in life? Like, you don't make content people want. People move away from your site. It's not making money anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you think you would continue to your employment? You have to make money to get paid. And it's like they don't understand how business works. Maybe it's true. Maybe the people who write for Kotaku are these idiotic morons who went to these fucking stupid universities, you know, where they just get by, you know, bare minimum, probably got C's and D's in their fucking classes, but still passed, and their rich mommies and daddies paid their way through the college, and now they think just because they have a degree, they're entitled to a job, so they think they're just going to jump into some fucking cushy job where they can just fuck around and do whatever they want and not actually do any work, and somehow magically for the rest of their life, money's just going to keep falling into their laps. That's not how life works. I hate to say it, that seems like modern America seems to think that. That's not how life works, okay? A lot of times in life, you got to bust your ass. You actually have to work hard. You actually have to do things you don't like to earn a living. I know, because I did it for most of my life until I became a YouTuber, and now I got lucky enough to do what I love for a job. But the rest of everyone else has to bust their fucking asses. I guess these people just grew up, you know, pampered, probably spoiled. And now, oh, I'm the lead editor. I'm angry now because we have to make game content again. Well, then fuck yourself. Good job. Good luck getting another job. Because no one in any journal in integrity is something in journalism. And if you don't want to have any integrity and you're putting out junk after junk after junk, who's going to hire you again? Right? I certainly hope that, you know, maybe you're going to go work at a florist or, you know, go work at a restaurant, serving tables or something, because no one's going to want you in the journalistic world again after this job, the way that you've behaved. And these people, can you imagine making that tweet on Twitter? I'm so upset that they want us to make these guides. I'm literally going to use AI, and just admitting publicly you're going to plagiarize your work from now on. That's the people who work there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, wow. But anyway, Kotaku's falling apart at the seams, and to say that most of the internet isn't happy about it would be a gross misstatement. People are basically going crazy about how, you know, they're happy about this. Now, here's the thing. I'm not happy about people losing their jobs. I wish that what could have happened was there would have been more of a level-headed discussion about this. It sounds like there was just a giant edict and it was change. Now you're being forced to tough shit. And if you don't like it, quit. And that's exactly what the lead editor did, right? But my question is, and you always got to ask these questions. How did it get that far, right? How did it get to that point where the site was allowed to go that far off the rails? It was supposed to be games journalism, and instead it became political. How did you let the site do that? Who was manning the ship? Who was running it? And who took this long to tell them that this was the wrong thing to do? Because it wasn't like, oh, there's one or two articles. It was like every piece of junk they put out was like this for about 2 years. So who made that decision? Who let them do that? That's someone's problem, right? And then to just say, well, the people who work here, right? The 7 full-time writers. I think they have some part-time too, but there's 7 full-time writers. Now you just have to change everything you do to something you don't want to do. You know, that's shitty. I've been there. I was at a job where I was hired to do one thing, and within a year, they decided they didn't want that to exist anymore, so they tried to get me to do something else instead, and I didn't want to do it, and I fought against it, and then eventually they got rid of me, you know? That's fucked up. But at the same time, when you're making some of the most toxic content on the internet and you think you just get away with it, and again, you're not really working, you're just fucking around. I mean, how long did you think that was going to last? I don't get it. I just, they literally said, but they're a top gaming news site. No, they're not. They weren't even making gaming news. They weren't making gaming news content. They were always politicizing their shit for clickbait. It was stupid as shit.